FlossTube. This is Linda, Stitchy Linda, and
Chrissy, finally a farm girl.
And we're here today, yes, via Zoom. And I'll kind of let Chrissy talk a little bit about that. With everything that's happened with the hurricane, and we'll talk some about that. Of course, our concerns and worries are still with the people that were affected from the first one. And now we also have the next one that had came through just recently. And because of that, the travel situation here is our main road that people go to and from Tampa is I-75. And that's really the only way that Chrissy and I go back and forth to each other. So when I went through the other day, I-75 south towards Tampa from Ocala is really crowded back to back. And so we kind of made the decision it wasn't really smart for her to come up here and then get stuck trying to get home. So
yeah, I mean, I think that one, obviously we're in front of you, we're both safe, thank goodness. Two, the last time we got together, we were talking about our prayers for the impacted of Hurricane Helene, and we thought this time we'd get together and we'd start gung-ho with our new format. And here we sit today, not expecting what came our way, and it was actually quite incredible, in my opinion. I was not prepared. No, I was prepared because I think you and I live quite a prepared life when it comes to that. We've been through them, but
sure. Yeah.
It was really hard. It seemed like the cone covered the entire state almost as far as who was going to get impacted. For us, it was big. Our community was hit hard. We still have several communities within the plantation of Leesburg. I found out and I told Randy, hold the for sale sign because we are on the same grid as the fire station and we were up the next morning. And you just can't be that thankful enough, but we did have a generator this time. That was our first time. And then we loaned it to my dad. And, I think the one thing that comes out of all this is just this, it isn't necessarily the government that is rescuing all the time. It's these people.
Neighbors and friends.
I've watched just so many people, whether Helene or Milton, and it's just crazy. But either way, it really was devastating. And the sad part was down south.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Palm Beach Gardens.
Well, and those that really, I don't think were expecting what they got. I mean, they had tornadoes down through Miami, all the way up through Wellington and some of the areas in Palm Beach County, and then right up the East Coast. Some of the most devastating, I think, were St. Lucie County, Stewart, Port Salerno, that area. And while they weren't expecting a hurricane, the tornadoes were just unbelievable.
The worst, from what I saw, and again, I know a lot of people have watched the news, but as a Floridian and as somebody who is a transplant from Martin County and the Palm Beach area and Port Salerno, and I worked at Port Salerno Elementary. I mean, Golden Gate was an area that couldn't handle a hit, in my opinion. These were not houses that could handle something like that. Lost an entire school. I've been through that before where Philip was 3 doing pre-K ESE and we had the hurricane come through. So all of a sudden he's uprooted to a new school. So it was just definitely something that I didn't expect. And we just got internet last night. So that was another reason that we were literally going, we celebrated Julie's birthday, my dad's girlfriend, and we went out to dinner. And as we were driving off, we got notification that it came back on. Now, we never knew my dad, when his power came on, his internet came on.
Oh.
So you just never know. But so for those that have reached out and done things, thank you. I haven't replied to many because my internet everything's attached to it. It really is. So
well, I will say on our side, of course, we live in a mobile home. And even though it's a newer mobile home, we made the decision with the size of the storm to stay at a friend's that night. And we got to her place, and about 9:30, she lost electricity. She did not have a generator. We do. It was a long night. I don't think I've heard winds like that in a long, long time.
Yeah.
especially between about 11:30 and 2, and I think finally about 2 it calmed down. But by 7 in the morning looking out, in her area, there were a couple of big trees down up not near her house. Our concern was getting home. We
Yeah.
live on a we live on a dirt road which floods when we have a rainstorm, and I was really concerned we wouldn't be able to get. So thankfully, my son, who lives out in Fort McCoy, which is an hour out into Ocala National Forest, was not, they didn't get as much. He called me and said, "Don't go home yet. I'm going to go to the house, make sure you can get home,"
Yeah.
um, which was wonderful. And he called us, and there was a big tree down our road that was down. There were people working on cutting it up. He got to our house. He had to move some limbs and stuff to get down our driveway, but he pulled up and he said, "The house looks fine." And when he walked in, we had electricity. So we
It's,
never apparently lost electricity.
and
Nothing
it,
down our house. I mean,
yeah,
a lot of cleanup.
sure.
But other than that,
That's
we're
a
very
lot.
blessed.
I mean,
We're very
and
blessed.
it's so funny because we were talking last night to my dad, and I was telling him where what you did and all that. You had a mandatory evacuation, and I just told him, I said, that just goes to show you, you don't know. You
No.
it is in control.
Yep.
That is why to me it's so scary, because you have no control of knowing where it's going to get anybody. Here you went and left, and you
Mm-hmm.
lost power so fast. I'm stitching and she's like, "Power out." And I'm like, "Oh no, you got a long night because now you're not
Uh-huh.
going to leave." And then here you are, and you can second guess every decision you made, but it isn't worth it.
Exactly. But I have to go back, and with the size of that storm, I probably would have done the same thing,
Yeah.
not knowing. You don't know.
No,
So,
you don't. And it's just like I said, I was really I had a house in Port St. Lucie, built it there, and there was I think it was Spanish Lakes. I mean, they took it's been a year. It's been a
yeah.
year. And
Oh,
like
yeah.
that, I'm ready for somebody said on Instagram, and it was the perfect, and I think it was Flame Fingers. She said, "I'm ready for it to be a quiet time season."
I
And
agree.
I agree. We're all ready for this to be done.
The only benefit we got after it was it's cooled down and we
Oh,
have some fall.
Philip and I walked 5.5 miles the next day, because
Mhm.
once we got things cleaned up and stuff. But now I will say, one of the ugly benefits is the animals and the critters. And we had a neighbor, we're on the 15th hole, and on the 12th hole had a rattlesnake. People
Ooh.
forget that these
Oh, yeah.
animals have been, they're all flooded. They're coming in from the forest, and ugh,
Yep.
so they're like, people piled their brush and all that, and it was in there.
Oh, yeah. You got to be careful of that.
Yeah. So it's just, anyways.
Oh,
And if you've
well,
never seen a live oak completely uproot and go up the
yeah,
base
it's
of,
unbelievable. And we did have one a little bit further down our dirt road that came up like that. And as we were coming home, there were men down there trying to cut it up and getting out of the road that goes further back in. And I
we
mean,
had,
it's amazing.
yeah, coming in our main, the one you come in,
Mhm.
how it's the drive is lined
Yeah.
with the live oaks. Two of them, one they had to cut out of the way of the road immediately, but the other one is right at the entrance, and it was on the water, almost on the water. And so that root structure must have been wet or something, but the
Yeah.
entire thing came up. And when you're driving by, Philip's eyes are like, it's crazy. These live oaks are gorgeous. They're my favorite part. They can live to be 400 years old, and yet when they go down, it's like,
They go
whoa.
down. I know I said to somebody, I love our oaks, but
Yes.
boy, during this time, I
Oh,
don't.
they're messy. They're messy. And anyways, so
Anyway,
yeah,
so
let's
that's,
go.
let's go. Let's talk cross stitch. How about whips?
Well, I only have one,
Okay.
so I'll share and then you go for it. I
Okay.
have been in the mode of model stitching. When you're done with a model, you treat yourself, so that I'm
Sure.
still getting to stitch some of my own. So I was able to start Nettle by which is an animal cracker.
Mhm.
So that's your Stacy Nash. And she's a pretty popular gal right now. And I think I started her the night after the hurricane, maybe, or the second one or something.
Yeah.
I had a
And
hurricane
Jen
finish.
and Jennifer's stitching it too, right?
Jennifer and Tina are stitching
Oh,
her.
good.
So
Okay.
Team Egner and Sweet Chaos, which their
Okay.
farm did good as well. But so here is my progress.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Now, what are you stitching her on?
I am stitching her on 32 count Grace Notes fabric, and it
Oh,
is called Sandstone. Now, this is one of their newer colors, and I don't know if you can tell, it's a good neutral.
oh, it looks it,
Good
yeah.
neutral. I don't think it's available quite yet. I think it's one of those because it was one of those fabric of the month
After the month, yeah.
situation. So I thought it would be good to try it. And she's real fun to stitch. I will say that I was lucky. I started after them, and the pattern has a little boo-boo, and it's swapped. So her stockings are supposed to be the sweet potato,
Okay.
and it's marked as the light. And then up here is marked as the sweet potato, but it's actually
Oh,
the light. So
yeah.
if you just focus on the cover, you will see it's what it is. I have to admit, I don't understand why all of a sudden I'm struggling with some of these 32 count dyed fabrics. This is
Really?
a Lugana. Let me just
Does
double
it
check
seem tighter? Is that the problem?
this. And
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time almost feeling like they're so tight. I had stitched too much thinking it was me, or I was going to start over and go to one thread. And I'm not a one thread kind of gal yet. I love the look of it, but I stick to it. But either way, this is giving my fingers a workout, but I love the look of it. I
Oh,
really
yeah.
love the thickness of it. So I know Tina is done, and she fully finished hers and is really cute. And I think, didn't Jen say she's close to a finish?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to use my birthday bag
Oh,
from
yeah.
Linda, and I love this. And this one was made by Barbara Johns, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Barbara Johns, and a great bag, and it's just been fun. I've got like the matching all the accoutrements.
Oh, there you go.
The pin cushion and all that
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
Terry.
I remember when you opened it, you went, "Oh, I have."
Yeah. The only thing I'm missing is the scissor slipper.
Okay.
Still might
Oh,
need one of why, just because we need these things. So besides I had a very big finish during Milton for a
yep.
model, and I got a call from Hobby Lobby with the framing of another finish that's done. So my plan is
Oh,
when we feel roads are good to go, then Philip and I will take a trip and I'll swap. So
good.
I did accomplish something.
Well,
That's
good.
it. That's all I did. Let's see what you got.
Well, I actually have a start that is a whip because I have a couple of finishes, as you know. So what I decided to start is I wanted another prairie schooler. I felt like after everything that had gone on for the last week or so that I needed some comfort stitching.
Yeah.
So I decided to pull this out. And actually I had a couple that I had thought about. I was going to do another Christmas one, but I thought, it might be nice to do something Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
I pulled this one out and started it, and I'm doing
The big one, right?
the big one. I don't know if you
Yeah.
can see that. I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I've left it in the Q-snap, but I'm making pretty good progress.
You are doing great.
Yeah. So I started in the middle. That corn is like the middle, and working my
Okay.
way down to the two houses.
Good.
This is on 32 count. Let me see if I can remember this. It's called Garden Path by Color and Cotton. It was a fabric of the month back a few years
Looks like
ago.
it's got a hint of green in it.
It has a hint of green in it.
It's pretty.
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So, and I'm housing that in my Barefoot Needle Arts bag.
Ooh,
Ooh,
very nice.
That's a cute bag.
Yeah, that's nice with the turkey.
So that's really my only whip that I worked on because during the time that since we've been gone, I've got a couple of finishes.
Yeah. You had some good finishes. Do you just want to go straight to the finishes or what's on
Sure,
our
sure.
whatever?
Me to go? Have you got any finishes?
I can't show them.
I know you've got the one.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, my big one, and I tried to pin this. We'll see how this goes. I'm not real good at lifting, but this is my
Uh,
big one.
it looks
This is
good.
my Prairie Schooler Christmas Village
Yeah.
on 32 count silver mist.
Can you roll your chair back a little or there you go. Yeah, pull it back. There it is. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, silver mist. It's all DMC. Um, I saved all the back stitching for last, which that didn't take too long, but there was quite a bit.
I felt like you
Uh,
did it fast.
huh?
I felt like
Yeah.
you did it fast.
Well, I think once, because I was probably what, 2/3 done when I picked this up a couple weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah.
And I just concentrated on it and got it done. But I love it. I mean,
Yeah. I
I
can't
can't
believe
wait. And while I'm not normally a black framer, I think this is going to look really good with a black frame.
Yeah, I do too.
So it'll go to Pam. Now I did like and this was Ginger's birthday sale back last year, and I looked at it, I think it was last November, so I guess I beat it
Yeah.
by it wasn't quite a year.
Yeah.
But Ginger also didn't do the border around it, the straight border, so I didn't either.
Yeah.
And
I
then
probably won't either.
my second one is Shepherd's Bush, and it's called Santa's Flight.
Yeah.
But I did it a little different. When Diane and I were out at Stitch West Spring in April, we went Shepherd's Bush, of course, because it was in Ogden.
Mm-hmm.
And this was on the wall, and it's called Santa's Flight. And it's all on one piece, and it's actually 28 count, a piece of Atomic Ranch. I think it's called Greystone.
Yeah.
But I did change it up a bit. If you look at the
Pretty.
pattern, there were words under, on all three of those pieces, there's words.
Okay.
And I didn't really want, since I was putting it all on one piece,
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
did.
I didn't want the words.
Yeah.
So I added a reindeer on the one side, and then I just added some stars and some snowflakes and moved things around on the top.
I like it. I like the extra reindeer.
I do too. I do too. And I think, I was thinking about getting it framed, but the more that I looked at it, I think I'm going to give it to Terry and have her
Or
make
a
it a
flat
flat.
pole. Yeah. Kind of like your
Yeah.
tiny towns.
Yeah. So those were my two finishes. I don't have any fully finishes.
Yeah. Well, me neither.
So
But
what you let me, oh shoot, I forgot to print up what you've been watching. Let me see if I can do this from memory. I think Chrissy, without having internet,
I didn't watch anything.
didn't watch anything, but I actually found a few new people that I thought I'd mention. And one of them is uh, Sandra. I know
Hmm.
not from Stitching in Ohio, Stitching in Idaho. Have
Okay.
you ever watched her?
No.
Chandra, I think it is. And I'll put it in the footnotes below. She's I really enjoyed her.
Yeah.
She was very calming, just really nice to listen to.
Yeah. Which we all need.
Oh, yeah. And then another one that I happened to watch, and she was stitching a drawn thread, which will lead me down a rabbit hole here, was I'm a Stitch Nerd, and her name is Laurel. She's been
Sure.
doing FlossTubes for a while too. And she was actually showing, she's done I think it was Simply Autumn that she finished, like Peter and I had done.
Hmm.
And she was going to be starting another one, and she mentioned some other drawn threads. And I thought, okay, I've been wanting to do another drawn thread. I had pulled out a drawn thread.
Yeah.
So she sent me down a rabbit hole. And then there was one more that I followed, and she's from Australia. And I didn't print the notes. I can't remember her name. She's actually been doing FlossTube for 10 years.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I never watched her, but I will make sure to put her below. She was really
Yeah.
good. Very fun to watch. Yes.
I will say I'm experiencing a lot FOMO for the hobby house retreat right now with Hands Across the Sea. Hold on, we got a little dog interaction going on right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Ginger, go. Um, yeah, to see, and was it Karen that went?
Yes, Karen went.
Karen went.
Uh-huh. Yep.
It just looks like they just put on a really good retreat. And
Yeah,
I,
the British, what was it called?
British in America,
Yeah,
British
something like that.
Sandwich, something
Comes to
comes to
America.
America. I
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah,
So
I saw the pictures. It looks really cool.
it does. I had a little FOMO.
Well, I'm having a little FOMO about the Shepherd's Bush retreat that's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
Um, Quite a few friends out there for that one. I know that Jenny Massini is out there.
Yes. Yes.
She
Yes.
went. And my friends, oh gosh, who else is going? I'm trying to think of who else went. Melody and Jean, they went out. So yeah, I know they're going to have a great. And Pam and Steph are there. They have gone out too. I think this is their first Shepherd's Bush retreat.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I know they're
Well,
all.
it's always funny how the world continues to move on.
Yeah, yeah,
When you're going through something, which like I'm sure with all those affected by Helene and stuff, everything else stops.
yeah.
And so it's so funny. I'm like, hey, wait a minute, why is a retreat happening? What are you talking about? But it looks fun. And I wanted to say happy birthday to Tammy Trotton, Tam. Anyway,
Pam,
yeah,
Pam Stitchin. Yeah.
yeah. So anyways, she sent me a birthday card. So I would have
Aw,
brought it to you, but it was real cute with a few skeins, and she always makes you smile. She's a
she's,
cutie
she's
patootie.
sweetie. Yeah.
Yes. So
All
anyway,
right. So, got anything from your closet that you pulled
I
out?
I
Oh,
do. Um, this was actually Olivia's 19th birthday gift. That's when I started giving, especially her, but the girls, that's when I started giving them something each year that I
mhm.
stitched. And I was also model stitching for the twins, this particular piece. So this is the Twin Peak Primitives. I think it was I think it was the Witch's Craft Room.
Okay.
This one I do not have museum glass on, so can you see it at all good?
Oh yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. So it was fun because I double matted this one for her. It's got purple and black, and I've got
Sure.
the barnwood on it. But I was going to mention at the same time that I did catch, now that I have internet and Instagram's flowing, I did notice that the twins put on a significant, their Halloween designs are 50% off for a good
Ooh,
chunk of time. It was like a week, I think, but maybe it's more. But either way, so this would be in there, but it was fun. I love the cabinet the best, the potion cabinet.
yeah, that cabinet's cool with all the little things
I
inside of it.
I feel like you could actually stitch that cabinet by itself almost, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
details are great and it was a fun stitch. And so that was a blast from the past.
Ah, well,
Yeah,
cool.
that I pulled out.
Well, I don't
Not
stitch much
very
Halloween.
old, but
No, I mine is a little old.
yeah.
I don't stitch much Halloween.
No.
But I have this one that I stitched. Oops, it's going to turn. Let me see if I can do this.
Oh, cute, cute.
And it's the Sweetheart Tree, and it's got a year on it of 96,
Oh my
1996.
gosh. Yeah.
So it was a monthly series,
Okay.
and I bought the stand for it,
Yeah.
and it actually interchanges out. And I had all good plans of starting. I did Halloween, I did Christmas,
Okay.
and
And
I did winter.
of course you did winter. Oh,
Of
that's
course,
pretty. I
isn't that
like
pretty? I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
if you can
pretty.
tell, it's got the sparkly on it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So it's interchangeable, so I do change it out, at least for those three, but I never got any of the rest of it done. So, but
Yeah,
it
of
was
course.
fun. I did look up Sweetheart Tree. It looks like it's out of print. She is still designing. I did see that. And she
Okay.
does have some other hearts that look like they could fit in there, but they weren't the monthly ones. But I
So,
put it up. I forgot. The reason I brought it out is I had all my fall stuff out and I started going through my little app to see, okay, what can I bring out from the closet? And it actually, I'd left it in the closet. So I had to
oh.
go get it out. I forgot all about it. Because what happens is the last one in there's winter, so it gets put in with my winter stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, but
It's
yeah,
cute.
that's my from the closet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cute. I like
So
them when they're on the easel like that kind of a deal.
I do too. And
It's a,
it's funny because I know Diane, because it always in Stitches, that's where I
Mhm.
probably bought it. And I know that she finished it. And I had shown it to her, I don't know, a while back, and she said, it's crooked. She was trying, she's a perfectionist when it comes
Yeah.
to finishing. So.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, how about our spotlight designer maker?
Yeah, and I did think of a designer that I thought maybe we could spotlight too, but the maker, yeah, go. I mean, you might have a little more. I can hold mine closer up, but
Yeah,
uh,
you can hold your, well, as you can see, mine is back here, and
yeah,
it's 1803 Ohio Farm Baskets. And I got mine a few years ago. This is what I call my Pick Me Next basket.
yeah,
So what's inside of that are things that I maybe haven't kitted yet, but charts with fabric that I want to do pretty soon.
yeah.
So that's my 1803. And Chrissy happens to have one.
And I love the tomato.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think mine, I can't see. I can't tell if
No,
mine has tomato. Yeah, it doesn't have the tomato on it. Okay.
but I
But I
love,
love the red and I love the tomato on yours.
especially because it's kind of in the year of the tomato. It seems like a
Yeah.
little bit, but it's got a real nice bottom.
Hmm.
It's all handmade. I have followed her for years, and until, my gifty surprise, I had never had one. I think that I love when I see that she does a really beautiful
Yes.
two-tiered one
Yes.
that people tend to use for their smalls. And I'm kind of getting to that point with some of the stuff where I think that that would be the next one that I really like. But she has some beautiful ones now that has like the embroidery hoop on it with the blackbird design sampler, if maybe you wanted to use it for sampler stitchers. Right now mine kind of has my go-to important ones that I want to do. So
My other one is this one back here, which it's just a flat
that like
basket.
an in basket
Yeah.
shape. Yeah, that's nice.
But this houses my whips, which, I have
Okay.
that many, so it's perfect.
Yeah.
Um, but I love it. It sits normally right underneath the other basket back there.
Okay.
That's where I keep it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love her baskets. They're so well made. They're just great.
So I gotta tell you a story. We'll call this story time. We
Okay.
need to add that to our format.
Yeah. Okay.
So I was getting ready, and usually Randy will take Philip and they'll go get lunch or do something when, we're doing this. And I said, well, hey, you don't have to be gone long because I don't have that much to show. Like I only have one whip. He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, he's like, are you broken? Are you broken? Did something happen? I'm like, no, I've only been stitching on one thing. I finished my model and I've been doing that for a while. He goes, you're a monogamous stitcher? Oh my gosh, we need to call Brick City. We need to get you up to Brick City stat. So he starts talking these medical terms. I'm going to tell Linda, pull 8 skeins of floss. We need 3 vials of this. I mean, he's like, he goes, I'm like, just stop. It's okay. He's like, this is not right. You're broken. I said, look at it this way. I'm not costing you as much. And he goes,
There you go.
yeah, you are. I'm like, yeah, I still buy. So anyways, that was my story time. You know how he is with
Oh yeah.
words and his rhyming and his, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
understand how he does it, but it was funny.
He has the ability for
But
sure.
if he dumps me on the floor of Brick City in a week because I'm still stitching, he'll know that I need care.
He's probably worried about how you would be if you didn't have anything to stitch.
Exactly. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't worry, I still got. He's like,
Oh
"I
yeah.
don't
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
to stitch just one thing." I'm like, I
Yeah.
know, I know. But it isn't gonna stitch itself for Nashville, so guess what?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
Anyway,
haul? Any haul?
I really don't.
I
I
don't.
think I had birthday stuff. I shared that. That felt like haul kind of, but no, I really didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. I don't have any either. I just I didn't need anything. I mean, I
Yeah.
did end up going to down to Brick City. I think it was, when did the storm? I went Friday after the storm,
Yeah.
and but I think I picked up 3 skeins of DMC, and that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I really racked my brain. I'm like, didn't I even get anything in the mail? But no, I shipped out a trunk show. Um, so I'm just praying that between weather and everything else that that goes okay. Um,
And you
but
say where?
no,
It's not happened yet. Okay.
I kind of no, it hasn't happened yet. And I know some people mention it ahead of time. I feel like it's a nice surprise when people
Yeah.
get there. I
Mhm.
tend to hold it back until
Sure.
it's all done.
Sure.
So yeah, so no haul.
No haul. Me either. But what about plans?
Well, my plans are I would love to ride out Nettle until she's done.
Yep.
Hopefully it'll start moving faster because that dress goes in and I'm kind of where her
Oh, yeah, you're in
paws.
the bigger, bulky
I
part.
am. So I managed to pull off like 8 rows last night and they're kind of big and I'm struggling with the fabric, but I'm up to where the paws are. I'm real close to that. And then I think it's going to go in a little bit. And if I could get that done, then I know maybe I can make a visit to Terry. So you and
Oh,
I need to swap
yes,
because if you give me the one, then I can give you my Liberty's Welcome,
for
which,
Pam.
yeah, which I
Good.
forgot to do last.
Yeah, we need to plan that
Yeah,
sometime soon, because I know
maybe
that
we could
I'm
meet
hoping.
halfway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can. We'll work on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Well,
that's one of those things that I think I was taught with hurricanes by my parents that it was an unwritten rule that, at least the first few days, with the exception of a little bit local going and getting your milk, you kind of give these linemen the road.
oh
And
yeah,
out of respect, you just don't, especially the day after.
oh
It,
yes. Stay
I
home.
don't know but I just feel like there are some unwritten rules that go with it. That's just and I just felt like that's why we did what we did.
No,
Um,
I
so,
agree. I mean, there's no sense being out there and adding to the already traffic. I
right,
mean,
right. So,
well, my
no
plan.
other real plan. Oh, and then I will start a special model for
Oh, okay.
yeah. So
Oh, yeah. I have one of those too. I'll be
you
starting.
do. There's going to be some very interesting news coming soon.
There
So,
will be.
but
Yeah.
yeah, that is my goal is I'll go back to maybe during the week because I really can't stitch on nettle with Philip. It's just the fabric.
Sure.
So I think I'll be able to stitch on that because it's 28 count Jobelin for this upcoming model,
Oh,
which means I should be easy peasy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the same thing to do. I need to start that, but I think mine will go a little quicker than yours.
Yes. Yes.
I plan on trying to get a little bit more done on this Thanksgiving piece, but then as I mentioned before, I got a drawn thread bug.
Yeah.
And while I had one that I'd shown on Instagram a few weeks ago, I thought, well, let me go through and pull out my drawn threads and see what I can find. So this is the one, and these are the fibers with it that
Mm,
I pulled
pretty.
out.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, and I posted it. I said I want to start it, and these are needle necessity fibers, which are no longer, but I had them,
They're beautiful.
and I love it. And it's think it's a little, let me see, there you go.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah. Yeah. Snowman.
Yeah, and I love those fibers.
Oh, the fibers are gorgeous. You can see those good, really good.
Yeah. So, but then I found this drawn thread that Karen, our friend Karen, I think she had finished this. Hold on a minute.
Mhm.
She had finished this, and it's called Little Noel.
That's cute.
And it's so pretty, and the picture doesn't do it justice, but these are, I actually had the dinky dies. Those
Yeah.
are the dinky dies that go with it. So I guess I had planned on starting it.
That's
And I put it up on Instagram, number 1 or number 2, to get a vote as to see who.
wow.
And then I started looking, and the other things it calls for was needlepoint silk.
Oh.
Now, I don't have any needlepoint silk, but I forgot that Drawn Thread, in case anybody else wants to know, has a
Mhm.
conversion chart out on their site for needlepoint to DMC. So I'm just going to
Yeah.
use the DMC.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure which one I'm going to start first. I mean, this is very small and will go quick.
Mhm.
And maybe the other one I'll start after that. But yeah, I went down that rabbit hole, and I know that Laurel, I'm a stitch nerd. When I posted on Instagram, I think she said she was
Is
probably
she?
going to go find something too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
Other than other plans, right before our next FlossTube, I have a retreat at Brick City, 3-day.
Okay.
So my friend Diane and our friend Mimi from West Palm, we've got a few people coming up for that. That'll be
Mhm.
fun. It's local, of course, so nowhere to travel to.
Right.
I think Janine said there's maybe 30, 32 people, and so not a big one.
Yeah, that's a nice number.
Gotta get a drink.
Well, while you're getting a drink, when we were talking about our maker, I
Oh
was
yeah.
wondering if you saw the Santa stocking that Crochet to Go put out.
Yes. Yes.
Where I was like, that's
Yes.
a good one.
That is a really good one. I did see it.
I was thinking as I'm looking at the stocking, could you just stitch that Santa and make him a stand-up?
I wondered the same thing.
I think you could, and I think he'd be phenomenal because I don't know that I need a stocking like that. I've never just made a whole series, but
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Which what I was thinking, I did that little shepherd's bush stocking small, 25/1. And
Right.
when I looked at that crochet a go-go, I thought, maybe I could make it really small and use it as an ornament too.
Yeah. It was
It's
really
very
good.
cute.
It was
It's
really
very
good.
cute.
And I guess that's why I was thinking she deserves all the credit as far as a designer goes, because holy cow, her stuff that she's putting out is phenomenal.
Her stuff is beautiful.
Whew.
There's
It's
so
really
many.
hard when you're a designer and you're like, no.
Maybe what we need to do one time is make her our spotlight designer and let's
Yeah.
pull some of her stuff to
But
show.
the funny part is that's a lot like Stacey Nash to me. I love all her stuff, but you have stitched more. Um, I mean, I could pull patterns, but
Well,
it's
that's what I'm
fun.
saying. I've really only stitched one of hers.
Yeah.
But I have
No, two.
several that
Didn't you?
one. My winter sampler is the only thing I've stitched of hers.
You didn't do the fall one?
I bought it, didn't do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
Okay.
we could definitely pull some stuff and show the
Yeah,
pattern.
between you and me, and I've got the Halloween, and you got the fall, and you got the thing,
Yeah,
and
and I know I have others.
other.
Yeah, yeah,
So anyway, I just thought let's plan on that for next time
that's
because
a good idea.
it's really
Yeah,
got some fun stuff. I don't think it's quite on the primitive side, but it's between, and it's really whimsical, and she's just got great, especially Halloween and Christmas.
yeah, she does.
So I was thinking about that. I saw that stocking, and there was one other thing I saw. So obviously, because you do the Brick City, not ordering, but the
Yeah.
taking of pre-orders,
Oh yeah.
Brenda Gervais put some stuff out there. I know you probably like that, but the one I fell in love with, not Brenda Gervais, was Stacy Nash for that dang Jingle Bell ball, that gingerbread house needle book.
I saw that too.
It has mice.
Are you going to try to? Oh, did it? I didn't notice
Yes, I
that.
sent you the last page of the needle book because it's the inside of the house and there's
Mm.
mice in there.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on getting tickets for the Jingle Ball.
I didn't yet.
Well, I don't think they're out yet, or maybe if they are, it just
Oh, it's
happened.
starting soon. It's starting
Yeah,
soon, I
it's
think,
starting
because
soon.
the designers are starting to share their projects
Yes,
and their classes.
yes,
I gotta be honest, I'm not gonna do the class, but I need to get that pattern.
yep, yep. Oh, definitely. I did it. I did it last year. I didn't do any classes, but I definitely bought a few things.
Mhm.
So yeah, yeah.
I don't feel like I need another needle book, but what I was wondering was if you stitched the house and then you stitched the inside, could you make it an ornament that rotates, like flips, so you could see both? So I
Sure.
know that Michelle, made by Michelle McGraw, loves the open houses, and they're called cut-throughs. So that's
Yes, yes,
the
yes.
other
I've seen.
side. And I'm thinking, how sweet would that be to have the front of the house here and the inside back?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I don't need another needle. I mean, like I love needle books. I'll take them all, but I think an ornament would be cute.
It would be.
Because my mom made some beautiful wool needle books and I have some of her, and it's kind of like I feel like I would prefer the ornament on the tree, get more use out of it, and how cute, you know. So,
It's funny. I, on the other hand, had no needle books.
okay.
And recently at the Garon Stitching in the Wild, I did have, and I don't remember her name, come up and give me a little needle, and I love it, and
Yeah,
I'm using it. I mean,
I
yeah,
use them. I have Terry, when I bought the Halloween set last year, I bought the needle book, the round one. And so I've got the Halloween. The only thing I'm missing is a lot of my stitchy Halloween stuff is my scissor fob.
oh, okay.
So anyways, but yeah, it was just, those were the two, Crochet Go-Go and Stacy Nash, and that dang gingerbread book killed me.
Yeah, the with thy needle, I looked at them, and while I haven't been, I don't want to say crazy, not my thing were the swans until I saw the Christmas one, and I like the with thy needle new Christmas swan.
I do
That's
too.
really pretty.
The
Um,
first one that she put out, I know Tina got, and I think Jen got, and I liked them. And I thought, well, I have a memory for swans, and that was from Lake Junaluska last
oh
year.
yeah, yeah.
And I love that. And I thought, well, think about it. Then the
Hmm.
Christmas one came out, and I thought that one was beautiful.
I like that one. I'll probably get that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't say me please yet, but it's definitely one that I
yeah.
really like.
And I do like, in fact, I've got to get ready to turn that order. The hands-on design, the new one with the pine cones, the new
Yeah.
little rounds. I love those too. So that'll probably be in our next haul
Yeah.
when it comes
Yeah.
out. So,
Well,
well,
what else do
what
we
else?
have? You want to see what's behind me?
Oh yeah.
Should we do that?
Oh
Not
yeah,
that
yeah,
we need
yeah.
to, but if we look over at the tree, let's see. This one we'll just do some fun stuff. This was the one we stitched for Mary.
Uh-huh.
You did the one with the two witches. So this is Brenda Gervais, correct?
Yes.
So Brenda Gervais, and I did the three.
Cute.
I don't know where I got that from, but we're just gonna stick it right there. And then there was this one that is Brenda Gervais 2 that was a gift. So
Aw.
she's the fun size.
Cute.
And then this was one years ago. This is
Who's that?
hmm, oh gee, Snowflower Diaries.
Oh, okay.
She did a monthly one, and Tina and I were stitching these, and this was wow, way back at the farmhouse rental. So that's this one. And then stitched this one.
Oh, that's
This
cute.
was Liz
Got a blackbird?
Matthews. This was Liz Matthews
Miss
freebie.
Matthews. Okay.
And did this last year. I think Tina stitched it too. Yes, I'm confident in that. So it's got a little spider on there. There's that one. Now I won't get up and reach the top, but there is a series by another great, I think, adorable designer, Emily Call.
Oh, yeah.
She did a Halloween series, maybe not last year, but the year before. But Jen and I, Sweet Chaos Stitcher, did these, and I just made them, did these little individual things, and I think I have 2 more to still stitch, but I did 3 of them. So I've got this one, the girl, and
And was she Salt and Pepper Stitching back then? I think she was a different name, wasn't she? Emily Call?
maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, he's gonna fall, so let me see if I can get, they're very tiny.
Oh,
and then,
isn't he cute? They are tiny.
yeah, she does some really cute ones. I have one more, but I don't know where it is. And behind me is Mr. Dracula, which matches this guy. Birthday gift, and this
Ah.
bat pillow. That was
Oh,
a birthday treat.
ah.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. Wish I could see, where did I put that other one at? I'll find him later. Oh, here it is. Here it is. He just fell. They're so tiny. I had a haunted house for them last year, and it's packed. So I'm like desperately trying not to lose them, but the ghost.
Oh,
And
I
I've
do.
finished all of them myself.
Oh.
But they're fun. I'll just stick them here for right now. And then we did 2 years ago, I think this was
Yep.
my birthday drum. And this was the sunflower with thy needle and thread sunflower.
It's with thy needle and thread.
Yeah, I don't know if it was, but I mean, I loved it because sunflowers are my favorite. Yeah. And that was my first drum, I think, my very first drum. Then
mine too, I think. Mine too. Terry finished them, right?
Yeah. And then back here, which I just got a mouse on it, but this was my second drum.
Aw.
Which was Tiny Town.
Yeah,
my first and only Tiny Town.
I didn't remember that. Halloween Tiny Town or?
Halloween Tiny Town.
Okay.
That's cute. And I had this little tray from Hobby Lobby, so it kind of gives it some height. And I had this little dude, but Terry finished it so cool up there. But that's that one.
Terry at the Old Needle Shop. She's wonderful.
Yes. So behind me is Reverend Squash Bottom.
Squash Bottom.
Yeah, that's Reverend Squash Bottom, Not Forgotten Farms. There you go. Is he blurry or good?
No, that's good. I love the frame. That looks great in that.
Yeah, I love these barnwood frames. They had a lot more sizes years ago at Hobby Lobby. Now it's just a couple of sizes, but yeah, I love him. And another that was a sweet gift. Hold on a second. And then of course, this is my Halloween Prairie Schooler fortune teller. And second here, I feel like I got right. I started the second one and I didn't like it. I started it and I don't know, something's got to be modified. I don't understand why I wasn't enjoying it, because it's a prairie schooler, so you would think I would enjoy it. But yeah, that's what I got behind me. I think things got a little blurry back there since I moved everything around, but it's fun. We've brought a few things back from storage and my stitchy chair's across. And I'm like, oh, okay, finally.
Doesn't it feel good? I know that when we got home after the storm and, you know, picking up and doing a few things, and once I got in my chair, it was like, oh.
Yeah, I've been, you know, we've been the house, I think, is basically gonna be off the market, get through the holidays, things like that, and I think if we can, we'll probably stay. One, to know you're on the grid at the fire station when you
Oh,
have
yeah.
a special needs situation,
Yeah.
and we didn't know that. How do you know that until you go through something like this?
Yeah, you
And of
don't.
course, for me, of my faith, sometimes I believe that that is the Lord whispering to me as to why the house didn't sell. Hold tight, sister, because you got Milton coming back. And it's just, I look at that stuff. I think, okay, because it's like I've done all these things and it just wasn't moving. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, well, we painted and I love it. We did things we hadn't. So, and I think eventually I might see if your son will give me an estimate to come do some flooring. Uh,
Yeah.
so I'm like, oh, she's finally you saved his Instagram. So
Hmm.
I followed and so yeah, her son is quite talented on doing all sorts of home things and I loved it. So I'm like, okay, maybe down the road we just need to contact him and see about doing that because we'll just see if we stay. But
Yeah.
if we've been basically taking 2 storage units and merging them into one, so we can get down to one. And so I'm selective as to what's coming back and we're taking our time and it's almost like redecorating a new house. So
Yeah. And I mean, you can pick and choose and do what you want and place it where you want. It's like getting a new place and decorating it all
yeah,
over again.
yeah,
So that's great.
it's work, but it's fun. And I feel bad when I'm like, will you bring me those boxes? But after the hurricane, he's like, you know what? I think I got to go pull my sweatpants out of storage.
I know. What were we? I think we were like 60, low 60s this morning. It felt so good.
Oh, good. So good. So I also have you had any ditch the stitch in a while?
I have not, but I'm contemplating one and we'll see how that goes for the next floss too.
All right. Well, I have one. You've already
Okay.
ditched it. And as I've been going through things, again, it's like I just decided that since we are not going to StitchCon next year, I
Oh,
definitely ditched the stitch.
yeah,
Um,
I did.
it's so
I didn't even start mine. So you had started
well,
yours.
I am not going to throw away this because I
No?
thought if I wanted to, I have that little basket or that thing I made for it. I would just make a pillow, have her make me have some, or make it myself, whatever. So I might stitch it after I stitch the end.
Yep,
And then I might just have a skinny pillow I put in my StitchCon memory box.
sure.
And I think that'll be it for me. Um, so it's just one of those things. So
Yeah.
I thought,
It,
yeah,
it,
don't stop and just not do an end, just stitch the end.
yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's funny because I have that same, I guess you would call it logo that Melissa had stitched us the first year or the second year, and she'd made it into a tiny round drum with just the Stitch Con, which was kind of cute
that's
too.
cute. Yeah. It's I think one of those things that like we never had this quilt hanging in here. And so it's been nice to be picky and choosy about stuff. Well,
Sure,
some of that stuff you just can't have everything we have traveled and grabbed and all the stuff. So I
I
thought
know.
a cute pillow, call it quits. I don't need the bicycle. I like the one we did before. I hope Jennifer finishes hers because she did plow through it.
I know. She plowed through it. She was,
It's really
whoa.
cute.
I
It's
know.
really, really cute.
It's very.
Um, but I think again, it makes you realize this isn't what I feel like stitching on. There's a lot better Sue Hillis designs I would rather be stitching on.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And so I think that's where it's at.
Yeah.
So I have a ditch after an N. Um, yeah. And that's really it. That's really all I got.
All right. Me too.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything else. And we talked about plans already. And I think I said that the Sal for Brick City is still going on. That started on October
Mhm.
7th for the 2024 Kris Kringle. There's quite a few people
Mhm.
stitching on that, so we're posting that on the Brick City Facebook group.
And that's the
Um,
Twin Peaks
any of
Center.
you would like to join that Facebook group,
Mhm.
Brick City Stitchers, it's called. We show a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of activity on there. People show what they're stitching on. I post new releases for Jean. So yeah, it's an active board. So you're welcome to join. Just make sure you answer one trick question at the end, and you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you do a beautiful job running that Facebook page. So, and people really participate. So it
We do.
isn't a page that people don't participate and just it's fully functioning and people love it. So,
I will add one thing that I forgot. I talked to Peter before the storm. He came on a Wednesday only for a few minutes and was there for an hour and a half like normal. He was picking out some fibers for a project
Mhm.
he's working on. So we hope maybe sometime in November we'll get him back for a
Okay.
FlossTube, and we'll probably do it at Brick City. So
That sounds
he'll
good.
have a lot to show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure because it's going to be like a year's worth of whips from
Almost, yeah.
You just need to hand them the tablet and
I know. Just it's going to be the Peter show. I already
yeah,
said that to him. I said, I guess it's going to become the Peter show.
yeah.
But he's a riot. He's such a good guy, and everybody loves him. And when I was in Alabama, everybody asked about him, and of course you. But I mean, people would come up and say that sweet boy that does the lost too. And I had sent him that, and I think he got a kick out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we're good then. So
Okay.
we hope to see y'all in a couple weeks,
Yeah.
and we hope to be back together again because we really don't get to see each other in
Mhm.
person very
Yeah.
often. So,
Yeah.
and
Next time I'll be coming up to you
yep.
and the roads will be clear and hopefully we'll be in a quieter season, as she
And
said.
I think if I look at the calendar right, it's going to be right before Halloween.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll show some more Halloween things then too.
Yeah. The grandkids got their costumes.
Oh, did they?
Yes. And Matthew is going to be SpongeBob. Next time I'll have pictures to share, of that. It's interesting because if anybody says anything about these hurricanes, I think we all have one thing we agree. The wind is what's so scary. It's the noise. And she kept recording. Heather, they stayed and they're in basically a brand new apartment building on the third floor. And they brought the kids in their room and shut off the two doors and all the stuff. And I didn't know my daughter was quite the weather forecaster because she lived on that channel. I'm like, Heather, if you want to not stress out, turn it off a little bit, and
Yeah.
oh my gosh, she sent me more updates, but it was so funny because she said they never lost power. They never lost power, but she said that the building shook. And so they went out and took pictures and there's cracks in the concrete and stuff. And she said, literally when the building shook, that's when she said, I got really scared. She's like, Christian slept through it. I know Philip slept through it. Her kids slept through it. And all you see are these Snapchats of her at 2 a.m. with the weatherman. And it's
In the
just,
background. Oh my gosh.
oh my gosh.
I know I called Diane. I was a little concerned about her. She was down in Orlando on the east side where they did have some tornadoes going through. And I messaged her a couple times, never got her. Got a little bit more concerned towards the morning. And I finally talked to her. She said, oh, I slept through it. I went, oh, Lord.
I don't know how people
I don't
do
know.
that.
I don't know.
Literally, I'm okay for a good long while. At 2 a.m, I'm like this. How much
Yeah.
longer, Lord? How much longer, Lord? Because it's just too much. It's too
It's the
too
noise.
long. It's just
And it's the noise, especially when you don't have power. Because you
yeah.
hear
It's just
every little thing.
hovering. When the power went, ugh. So yeah. But
Well, anyway,
either way, yeah.
hopefully we won't have another one before we record the next time because it seems like this has been a thing. So
It has. It's the year.
yeah.
2024 is closing itself out with a bang. Anyways, all right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. We will hopefully have maybe we'll do a little spooky, who knows what, and I'll get some more Halloween from storage. But I think, like you said, it'll be around Halloween before we get back together again. and hopefully we'll have some more to show. And anyway, so and let's start our format right from the beginning without any hurricane updates.
Yeah,
So
we don't need any more. Yeah.
no, we don't. And I want to have a finished nettle.
Oh, there you go.
That would be fun, and prop her up over there. We shall see. But anyways, okay. Well, we certainly appreciate you watching. We'd love for you to double check and make sure that you're subscribed. And I do apologize for getting back on any of the comments. Like I said, I didn't have internet. We were definitely busy doing things. One person had asked, where can they get that planner from? And several mentioned they ordered it. It was in the link last time, but I can make sure that we put it in the link below again. It is a website for the Stitcher Soul. Am I correct?
Yes,
Terry.
that's right. And there's only one S in it because I know I went to look and I think the Instagram may have two
Yes.
S's for the Stitcher Soul in that area, but I think the website had one. So I'll make sure to, I'll list the right one.
So I know one person had asked, where can I get it from? And I did not reply, so I apologize and thank you for being patient, but we'll make sure that there's, the link is there for you. And other than that, I'm excited to use mine, and we probably need to start writing in it right now. It's beautiful. Yeah, so, all right. We will talk later. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Don't
forget
to
floss. Bye.